Hi, everyone. Welcome. Special thank you for everyone who came on time. And I want to say I'm very impressed to see a lot of people who joined in from America. We're happy to be a part of a step in your journey to getting your dream home and living in Israel, God willing. We're here in Israel already. We're celebrating Tu B'Shvat. So it's a special day here. And God willing, you're going to feel that soon when you live here also. We're going to start off with Noam Vassal, the CEO of Noam Homes. He has been an Efrat resident since 2009, and he's been in real estate since 2007. So Noam has a really deep understanding of Israel and market trends. And without further ado, Noam, take it away.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming to Bishvat Sameach. Um, so, why Efrat? I think this picture kind of shows you what Efrat is surrounded by, all the green nature. Efrat is very community based. I'm sure a lot of you know people that moved to Efrat in the last few years or have been speaking about it, their family. Um, So there's a lot of Anglos in Efrat. This is a very, very Anglo place. If you don't know a lot of Hebrew, a lot of people have the question of if Aliyah is the right move because of the lack of the knowledge of the Hebrew language. In Efrat, you could definitely get by, learn the language, and speak to everybody around in Hebrew and in English, or in English and in Hebrew. Depends which is your main language. And you'll be able to get along very nicely with the community here. There's a very big community focus here. Say the reserves, the last few times people have gone to reserve duty, people have filled in for the families who stayed home. Every time there's a birth in the community, people get together for the meal train. And mamash, it's a beautiful sense that we get here in Efrat. Um, there's definitely many places here that the second paragraph here with the educational institutions, there's, I think in every single neighborhood, there's at least one school that's that's very academically challenging for the kids in this community. And this is something that Efrat stands up very, very high in the country. There's a lot of shuls and parks, and there's a medical center within Efrat, Machar. It's called um, immediate uh, health center. That's what it is. Sorry. And we have that, which is very, very central for all the people in the Gush. So the people in the Gush come over to Efrat if they have a sense that they need urgent care, and we supply that to people. We have all the Kupot Cholim here that exist in Israel. We have the four centers here in Israel, and we're here to also, as you see, the next one is easily accessible to Jerusalem and Gush Etzion. So we're in the center, and this is where the medical center also comes into aspect here. So people from all the area come to here to see their doctor, a family doctor, or to get urgent care. And the bus now to Jerusalem, we just today opened up for the first time. There's two lanes each direction into Jerusalem from Efrat, which is a very, very big bonus. So traffic is a lot less now. Baruch Hashem, this is something we've been waiting for years. And obviously, people who lived here with one lane, I could say they were very Zionistic with values-driven lifestyle, but now life just got a little easier for everybody, so we're very, very happy with that. Efrat, for whoever doesn't know, was established by Rabbi Riskin. He was one of the big people who pulled it, people from America in, and that's where all the English-speaking people came from. And this was founded in 1983. Um, so if you don't know, Efrat has seven neighborhoods. We have the Geffen, Tena, Rimon, Dekel, Dagan, Tamar, and Zayit. And this is perfect for Tu B'Shvat. This is why we waited till Tu B'Shvat to do this event. We have around 13,500 families, people living in Efrat, and Bezrat Hashem, thousands more to come. And we hope to fill these existing units with someone from these attendees tonight, and Bezrat Hashem, we'll see you amongst us in this community. We'll be very happy to welcome you.
Thank you, Noam. Run through it though, so you see. This is the main street out of the HaMoshava project. We wanted to do a quick video. There's open area, grass, park benches, tables, supermarkets, restaurants. It's very conveniently located. See this shopping center over here? And there's a library with a lot of English books. Hopefully your Hebrew will be really good, so you'll also pick up Hebrew books. Schools, library, Bnei Akiva, which is a youth center and a community center for all ages, where the government provides all these sort of events and activities. And medical centers and urgent care. So yeah, all walking distance.
That was a video going around the neighborhood, just so you understand, from the top left of this picture to the bottom right of the picture. It's going around the Teina. It goes next to Asechal School, the medical center, the Burgers Bar, which is next to the supermarket, and New Delhi, the mail, the post office, and there's many, many more businesses. So everything's very, very close to this certain place because Efrat was founded around this neighborhood.
Okay, so nice to meet you, everyone. And my name is Tal Mandel, and I'm a real estate agent at Noam Homes, and I specialize at the HaMoshava project. So, like Noam said, this new neighborhood is very conveniently located. It's close to everything. It's close to the medical center, to schools, to parks, to library, supermarket, restaurants. And it's like a brand new neighborhood. It's planned, it's modern infrastructure, it's quiet, it's green, family oriented, with mountain air and open views and long-term value and growth. And if we can move to the next page now. Okay, so we have, by the way, a total of 32 units in this project, 18 already sold, and we have 14 units left. And the project is expected to be finished in 18 months from today. It's like going to be around June 28th. And today it's not a lot of chance to buy a private house. It's one of the last neighborhoods of houses in Israel because today the states of Israel really wants us to live in towers and in apartments. So it's a really good opportunity to live in a house. So we have spacious layouts. We have units between 190 to 250 square meters, and they also include the basements and private gardens, high construction standards. All the units, they all come with a central AC, with underfloor heating, with a Semel kitchen. It's one of the best companies in Israel for a kitchen, and it's a very high standard of a kitchen. So like most of the things that are inside the house are just to make people very high standards and just come in and live, and you don't need to take out more money out of your pocket for any other expenses for the house. Okay, we have gardens, balconies, and parking. So there are 2 parking spots for each unit, and every unit has a private garden, approximately 120 square meters. And you have a private balcony from your second and from your third floor. And the houses are designed for families and comfort, very elegant, modern architecture, private pool and home elevators. So almost every unit has a private pool in their garden, and every unit has an elevator inside the house. So now maybe we have the 3 types of houses, and Robin gonna show us some movies that we did from the houses. We can understand what we're looking about.
Yes. And this is all going to be ready, right, Tal, in a next summer, basically. Summer
Yeah.
2027. It's all going to be completely ready, so this is in the process. Okay, we also have our amazing lawyer, real estate lawyer here, Dvoranit Schwartz. She's going to speak about the legal process of purchasing, and we're going to get into prices also. And we have our mortgage broker, Yoni Hyman, who actually helped me buy my first home here. So we're very happy to have them both on. Dvoranit, you can take it away.
Hi, everybody. Nice to meet you. So first off, Efrat has a very warm place in my heart because I was born and raised here, and I'm raising my children here as well. When you're buying a project, what in America they call off plan, or here we call on paper. You're buying from a developer off the plan, so you have more of a picture of what you're buying, and we have a very strict legal framework of what the developers are bound to because of previous bad experience. The legislator here requires that every shekel that you spend is backed by a bank or some kind of insurance plan, which means that any payment that you would make towards the apartment, and they're going to discuss the payment plan soon, but any payment that you make will be through what we call shovarim. It's like it looks like a checkbook, and you pay only with those, and that way you know that every payment that you make is covered by the bank that's backing the project. Now, a lot of people are a little bit hesitant to buy from overseas. Either you didn't see the project or someone else needs to handle it from far. And I can assure you that it's something that we do every day. We have special power of attorneys that are signed, usually over Zoom with the notary and an apostille, either in the States or in Australia or England. And then what happens is I can actually, as a power of attorney does, I can work in your name and sign whatever documents need to be signed. Obviously, everything is coordinated with you, everything you're aware of, and we sit and discuss every document that is signed before I go ahead and do it. And you are obviously aware of every payment that is made through what we call the shovarim, the checkbook for this specific project. You want to go to the next slide, Robin? Thank you. Okay, now we're going to have to, anyone who's interested, obviously, feel free to reach out. I will send you an email at the end with a 5-step guide to buying real estate in Israel and my contact information. Feel free to reach out and ask any question. Obviously, it's all complimentary. But each person will need their personalized legal advice based on their position. Are they making aliyah? Are they ktinim chozrim? Are they non-Israeli residents who don't spend that much time in Israel yet and are planning on buying over the green line, because then there could be no purchase tax. Okay, if you buy inside the green line, then you'd be paying 8% as a non-Israeli resident, and 0.5%, with different levels as a oleh chadash. But if you didn't make aliyah and you're purchasing over the green line, because it's personal based law, you won't have to pay any purchase tax. Again, as the lawyer, it's my job to put a disclaimer and say that everyone needs to get their personal advice before signing any contract and making sure what your legal standing is. But that's basically the framework. So if you didn't make aliyah yet and you're signing, so it will be 0 purchase tax. If you plan on making aliyah within a year of getting the keys to the apartment, then there are different steps. There are different levels of purchase tax. And if you are an Israeli resident and you already own a home and you're not planning on selling your first home, then you can also be paying 8% purchase tax, as well as, you can be paying 8% purchase tax. So it's very important to have a lawyer by your side. I will mention another thing, whether you choose me or anyone else, it's very important to have a lawyer You know, the developer's lawyer is not representing you. It's something that's very important to understand. And unlike other legal systems, Israel is very, very based around the lawyers who represent you. So the lawyers will be involved in your negotiation. They'll be involved in making sure that the payments are made on time. They'll be involved in making sure that the other party, the developers, is keeping to their commitments. Um, anything that you would have, any issue that you would have throughout the process until you move into your home, your lawyer would be the address for your concerns and questions. And again, if anyone has questions for me, both either here on the Zoom or if they want to reach out later, you'll have my contact information and feel free to ask anything that you would like to.
Thank you.
This is, by the way, a pro tip, the purchase tax, just so everybody's aware. We've had clients make aliyah, come to buy in Efrat, and realize they have a 0.5%. So this is something that could save you a lot of money if you're planning on living over the green line.
Yeah. Also, by the way, until August of 2024, Olim would have to choose either 0.5% or getting the benefits of her first house. From August of 2024, they solved that issue, and now you can get both. You can both get the levels of not owning another home in Israel, and after that, only paying 0.5% for anything over 1.9 million shekel.
Okay, thank you, Doronit. Also, we're going to talk about the financing terms and plans. The remaining units left are going from 5,450,000 to 6,650,000. And we have Yoni here who's going to discuss getting a mortgage.
Hi, I'm here. Just go one slide over.
Yes.
Hi, I guess a quick question?
Oh, we're gonna do questions after. You can also jot it down in the chat if you want, but please don't forget your question. We want to hear from you. Go ahead,
Okay,
Yoni.
so my name is Yoni. I used to live in Gush Etzion in El Azarashi, which is right across the street from Efrat. I basically grew up in Efrat. I went to high school in Efrat, literally about 300 meters from where the project is being built right now. So I know the area very, very well. In my personal opinion, it's one of the nicest and one of the most open areas in Efrat. I personally love the project. I love the area very, very much. Regarding mortgages itself, so I'm going to explain a bit the difference about if you buy it in Israeli or as a foreigner. If you buy it in Israeli, which means you have an Israeli Teudat Zehut, either an Israeli passport or an Israeli Teudat Zehut, you're entitled to get up to 75% financing. If you're a foreigner, which means you do not have an Israeli Teudat Zehut, you're limited at 50%. If you're in a process of making Aliyah, which means you already have an Aliyah letter from the Sochnut, then with that, we could still get 75%, even though you do not have an Israeli Teudat Zehut yet. A lot of clients ask me if one of the spouses is an Israeli, the other one's a non-Israeli, what can they get? So if they put the apartment on the Israeli's name, which means the spouse that is an Israeli owns the apartment, they could get 75%. If they buy it in both your names, so I could get 62.5%, 50% for the non-Israeli resident citizen, and 75% for the Israeli citizen. Regarding payment flexibility, so this project is one of the most flexible payment terms because it's a 1090 project, which means you put down 10% upon signing, 90% upon completion, which means you don't need a mortgage for another year and a half. So you have plenty of time. You have no additional fees whatsoever except your first 10% and all the additional fees that Vornate spoke about. And you only take the financing a year and a half down the road, which means that we would have to pre-approve you today, and then in a year and a half, we would have to renew the pre-approval. And if there's any change of income, that's something we would have to discuss, and we have to redo all the paperwork before we take the mortgage in a year and a half from now, which is very important when you take a mortgage so far in advance, because if your income changed for whatever reason, that's something that should be discussed and approved ahead of time. In Israel, there's a lot of different creative financial options. You could take something called a grace period, which you pay back only interest, not principal. The mortgage in Israel are very flexible in the terms that we could kind of structure the mortgage that suits your financial needs. So each client has their own financial preferences in terms of how much they can afford to pay back. If they want a fixed, variable, combination fixed and variable, each type of mortgage has pros and cons. And my job as a broker is to really understand your financial needs and what's important for you guys, both in the short and long term, and structure the best and cheapest mortgage for you guys. Obviously, negotiate the best rates we can with the banks, and really help you throughout the whole finance process here in Israel. One of the biggest concerns that a lot of Olim Chadashim have, especially if you're in your 50s and 60s, is a lot of people say to me, "Listen, Yoni, we have assets in the States. We don't want different stuff that the Israeli banks require. For instance, life insurance. If you take out a mortgage in Israel, the banks don't require life insurance. So one of the stuff we do is if you guys could show that you have life insurance in the States, or if you have assets and a high net worth in the States from assets, investments, stocks, and so on, it's pretty easy in Israel to get a waiver for life insurance for foreign buyers. All we need to show either, like I said, existing life insurance in the States or enough money in savings and assets and so on in the States, and the banks are pretty easy giving those waivers. So that's a big concern for a lot of people, and something we're usually able to negotiate and get a waiver off of that. So regarding planning cash flow, so like I said, because of 1090 deal, the mortgage is only needed in about a year and a half, which means there's no payments till then, unless you guys want to take out the mortgage early, which obviously there are pros and cons doing that for different reasons. But because you're only taking a mortgage in a year and a half, so we don't have any immediate monthly mortgage payments, and therefore you only start paying the mortgage once you actually take it out, and therefore at least for the next year and a half, it's a very flexible and very convenient payment schedule. Exchange rate considerations is obviously a very big one. The dollar is terrible right now, as you guys all know, as we all know, and therefore we want to put down the minimum we can right now, and obviously see what happens in the market. And hopefully, if the dollar starts, getting stronger, the shekel starts going down, which is a hope. We all hope that together. That'll be a good time to transfer more money. There are many transfer companies we work with, both Zvorny and myself. We could help recommend and refer you to the right people to help you with the whole transfer process. If you follow through the whole thing, we manage the whole thing for you, and we make sure you got to get the best service, the most honest service, most professional service, and make sure everything is taken care of from A to Z. Regarding long-term thinking, so that's a very important one, which means that it really depends on your situation. Are you younger? Are you older? Are you looking to retire? Are you looking to start a new career in Israel? What can you afford in terms of monthly payments? Are you looking to pay out part of the mortgage early, and so on? A lot of people that buy in Israel say, "Look, I'm going to buy in Israel. I'm going to sell my house within the next few years in the States." So what we have to do is build something called exit points into the mortgage that allows the flexibility to prepay or refinance the mortgage if and when you have the liquidity come in. So we can take a mortgage built out of a few different structures, and part of the mortgage could be paid off with no penalty, which means we could structure a mortgage ahead of time with those exit points and allow that flexibility if we want to pay off the mortgage earlier. Avoiding mistakes, I'm talking both from the financial point of view and obviously from the legal point of view, which is what Dvorny was speaking about. That's the reason we really have, us as professionals kind of really guide you throughout this whole process and really hold your hand both on the legal side and the financial side, and help you make the best, most calculated decision. And I'm not going to say avoid mistakes, but definitely limit your mistake taking, because there's always unseens. But we do try to limit as much as we can. Obviously, try to calculate as much as we can in the future in order to lower the risk for future mistakes that might happen. And obviously, be with you guys every step of the way for this whole mortgage or this whole, purchase process.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Yoni. Thank you, Dvorny. I want to open up for Q&A. We do have questions that people wrote in when they registered, but if someone wants an opportunity right now to ask live, we'd love to hear from you, and you can unmute yourself. Okay, so I'll go ahead and I'll ask what someone asked. Are there upgrade or customization options available? Tal, if you want to answer that.
I'm sorry, what was the question, Robin?
Are there upgrade or customization, I guess, an interior design options?
Okay, so a few people that bought in the project, they brought their own internal designer. And what we are doing, we're making them sit together with the architect of the project itself, and then they can present their plan. For example, someone wants to add another bathroom or another shower at the entrance next to the guest room, or to upgrade their bedroom or even their kitchen. So it's very common, and it's something that can be done, especially now while we are still under construction. So we can still starting even from breaking walls or changing the design. It's all possible, and this is the time to do it while we are still in the building process. Yes, most definitely.
Great. Thank you, Tal. Someone asked about price lists and layouts. We could definitely email you that. That's easier to send it to you
Yep.
very clearly.
Tal, can you just give maybe a little rundown about the prices and layouts? Because I see this as a recurring question. Just a little bit of a touchdown because there are only 14 units left, but I feel that
Sure. So we're
just a
starting.
ballpark.
I try to. It's approximate in dollars, right? So and the 14 units that we have left, Type C, 190 square meters, 5 bedrooms, starting from $1,750,000 approximate. And then we move on, we get up to $2,150,000, $2,150 for a Type A 6 bedrooms, which also including the basement. And this is 250 square meters. So this is more or less the price range. I can definitely send the floor plans. I think even now, Robin, we can show a few examples, right, of the floor plans. Or we can send them to people so they can see. I'll tell you, it's all they build in a triplexes.
Yes, I could share. Let's do
What?
yeah, we could share a standard one.
Share standard one. Most of them are 3 floors. It means first floor we have a kitchen, dining area, living room, and mamad, which is the safe room, and a guest toilet. And then second floor we have 3 bedrooms.
Do you see this, everyone? You see this? It's nice.
We
No.
can't see yet.
No? Okay, hold on. Okay. Just share a different screen. Everyone see now?
Okay. So the bottom right floor, this is the ground floor. We see the entrance from the garden. We have the pool in the garden, and then in the middle, we have the entrance to the house. And we have the kitchen. Yep, this is the first floor. We have the kitchen on the top left. And then on the top right, this is our dining area. And the bottom right, this is the living room. And at bottom left, this is the mamad, the safe room. It's from concrete, so it has to be, it's a thick concrete, so it has to be downstairs. And then we see in the middle and the bottom, we have the stairs and we have the elevator. And then we go up to the second floor. This is at the left side. So we have 3 bedrooms total. We have the first bedroom is in the left side, bottom left, and then on the top left, the second bedroom, which is also a master bedroom because we have a bathroom connected to this bedroom. Then we have a service room, and down and in the middle, in the bottom, we have the main bathroom. And the bottom right, it's the third bedroom in this floor. And on the top right, it's like a family room with an exit to a porch. porch with a beautiful view to the Judea mountain. And then we go up, we have a huge master bedroom. We have at the bottom left this is the master bathroom. At the bottom right is the closet room. And also at the right side, we have the porch with a beautiful view to the Judea mountain. So this is an example of a layout. Oh, and of course, we have at the bottom left, this is the basement. So we have, like I said, we have two different type of units with basement and without a basement.
Here is a man cave, the basement. In this example, but it could be many things.
Okay.
I have a question. Can you please clarify if these are, I'm sorry, I missed the beginning. Are these already built or they're still being built?
So they are still being built. Technically, they are almost finished. The developer, it's going to take him about maximum 1 year, but because it's a new neighborhood, so we still, the city of Efrat, the council of Efrat has to finish all the infrastructure, the roads, to connect it to the electricity. So we are expecting to give people the keys 18 months from today, like Robin said, the summer of 27. Okay. One more thing that we didn't discuss it about the payment plan. What's the developer is offering, because most of the people has to arrange their finances. Sometimes they need to sell their own apartment. So, and it's still 18 months until the project will be finished. So you pay only 10% upon signing, and the remaining 90% will be paid just before the project is finishes. Okay, so it's also
It's important to note that it's not tzmud bandad. It's not attached to the
Index.
building index. So the price that is listed is the price that it stays, and it's not going to be increased at the end if you wait to pay off the rest, which is not something that's very common in building projects.
Hi, the square meters that you presented, does that include the basement or the basement is additional?
So the 250 square meters, it's including the basement. The basement is about 30 square meters. So it's 220 without the basement, 250 with the basement.
Okay.
You are Mr. Ginsburg that we're asking about the basement?
No, cats.
Cats, okay. So I saw Mr. Ginsburg was asking, is the basement able to be the same size as the floor above it? So I think you have to be in Israel so I can answer you that question. But maybe we'll answer it more in private.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, please. This is your time to ask.
Sorry, Shalom. How close is this to, let's say, Daniel and these other areas?
Neve Daniel, maybe
Very close.
not 10 minutes, not even 10 minutes, right? No.
It could be even 3 minutes from this project into Neve Daniel. No
And
traffic.
How close to Ben Gurion Airport with no traffic?
1 hour?
Well, 45 minutes. I did it last week.
I see both of you drive at different speeds.
It's at night you have a very, very clear road now. They built to the Begin, and then once you get on the 60, you get into Jerusalem. There's a 16 highway that cuts through Jerusalem, and you're on the one highway, and then you're in no time in Ben Gurion. So it's a very, very close. Baruch Hashem, like I said before, and once it was Zionistic being here, and now it's already convenient. The sense of community, when we were looking for a community, me and my wife, it took us a long time. We went to Givat Zev, we went to Jerusalem, we went to a lot of places, and we were looking for an Anglo area. And when we got to Efrat, back way when, it was only one lane each direction, and we had to stand in traffic for hours. And today they just opened up two lanes each way, and the traffic, I was surprised to not have any traffic into Jerusalem today. So You know, it's growing and it's getting better each minute, and we're very happy to be part of it.
What type of people have already purchased the 18 homes? Are they what age group? What kids? What religious levels? What areas are they from in New York or New Jersey, wherever they're coming from?
So I can say that everybody up to today is religious. We've had people buy these properties from Mexico, Cancun, religious. We've had people from America, people from Israel, a lot of younger generations, doctors, dentists, 40 to 60 is more or less the age group. There's a very, very nice community here. And one of the things that we didn't see in the photo of all the project is that within the project, there's also going to be a shul designated to this project specifically. So the 32 families that live here will be able to decide the way this shul will go. So this is a very important thing to add on to this.
Do
So
you know if it's like the teenagers there, older kids, younger kids? Are they, when you say America, America is ginormous. Is it like Teaneck? Is it Passaic? Is it Five Towns, Muncie?
it's a very big mix. There's Tal, do we
Yeah,
have?
but I'm gonna also chime in for a second because I grew up in that side of Efrat. I can say that it's even though it's a neighborhood of its own, it's so close to the other neighborhoods that even if it could be less than 5 minute walk to your friend's house in a different neighborhood. It's not like the newer neighborhoods. I don't know how well you know Efrat, but in the newer neighborhoods, if you want to walk to your friends in the other neighborhood, you have to like put your walking shoes on. In this neighborhood, it's part of the continuation of all the older neighborhoods. So it's just an ongoing plethora of like different ages from the Rimon Te'ena all the way through the Deca.
What's the safety walking around over there, taking buses to Jerusalem or to wherever they have to go? I know this is a gush, and everyone says so with the Green Line and all that stuff.
Within Efrat, it's very, very, very safety. At the beginning of the war, there was a lot of mayhem with what do we do for security? And the mayor of Efrat came and said, listen, everybody around the Gush now is trying to imitate and get to the level that Efrat is at with the security, because Baruch Hashem, we didn't let things go to chance. We really put that up there, and people donated in the millions. What Efrat has, I think Jerusalem or other big cities would be very jealous to get. The social economic level of Efrat with the people living here is also very, very high, and people take very big measures and pride into making sure that this stays the number one leading community in the safety. Definitely. Kids walk here, 5-year-olds, 7-year-olds, kiddo, and bemet, like parents feel free to tell the kid, go get an ice cream from the Makolet and come back, enjoy, and it's bemet. Like I said, the feeling of the community, you don't have that over here. Everybody knows everybody. It's like a very big sense of community here. Baruch Hashem, it's not such a thing. By the way, to the 190 meters, I don't know if anybody needs the conversion, but is 2,045 square foot, and then the conversions upwards to the next meters.
In Efrat, it's very safe. What's it like when the kids want to take a bus to Bet Shemesh or Jerusalem, traveling over there alone on a bus?
So Beit Shemesh, you would need to change a bus to Jerusalem. It would need to go through Jerusalem, even though there's a direct road, or maybe through Beitar Elite. There's another bus you could take, and then a connecting bus from there. That's also considered very, very safe. Also to Jerusalem, obviously we all know people living in Jerusalem, and I don't think over there is less unsafe. And there's people already in my nephews take buses into Jerusalem at the age of 12 and 13, and they, it's a very simple bus ride. Lo aleinu, but in Teaneck we had just a few weeks ago, a guy throw a rock at a school bus. We don't know where it would come from, but I, I, I can say that Baruch Hashem, we haven't had many, many years. Bli ayin hara, tfu, tfu.
Someone asked in the chat, the size in square meters is just the interior space or includes the outside area. Tal responded, it's just the interior that we're talking about, the square meters.
In Israel, there's a law about the square meters, what you have to write down. So it's called pladelet. It's the walls, but not the garden. Inside the 2,045 square foot is the walls and the structure. Because when you sell a property, you're selling everything. On resale in Israel, it's the net size, which is like floor. They call it sponja. What you mop the floor, that's the size you're buying. But on brand new properties, you pay for the whole structure.
So the square meters you mentioned are netto or brutto?
Brutto. It's called
Okay.
pladelet.
Okay, and what percentage do you take off of that brutto to get to the netto?
I would say it's around 10%. Between 8 to 10%.
And the balconies are included in this? No, you
No,
said
balconies are not.
okay.
No, it's inside, internal space. The balcony is like an addition that you can add on top of building space. You also need a permit for that, but that's not chargeable meters. That's additional meters to what you can do with the house.
Someone mentioned in the chat about the different, right, Noam, you respond about religiously diverse. Maybe you could talk about that a little more, like living in Efrat, what you see, what kinds of religious levels, communities.
Ornate, you want to give us a little bit of rundown on the levels of who lives on this side of Efrat?
There's a real mix. I mean, throughout all of Efrat, you can really find, like, if we talk about the schools in Efrat or in the Gush Etzion area, and also, as we mentioned, because the traffic has really gotten shorter. So even if you want to live in a more yeshuv, but you want to send your kids to yeshiva school. So there are families that send their children to Beitar Elit, to Talmudei Torah, and on the other hand, you have the children who go to what we call a Mishalev school, which is non-religious and religious non-religious and religious children, and in the middle you have, the Dati Leumi, and you have a Talmud Torah that some of the children go to in Neve Daniel, and you have, Orot Etzion, which is a little bit on the firmer side, and you just have like just a combination of so many different on the scale of the Dati Leumi yeshivish um, scale that you can really find any kind of community you're looking for. The older part of Efrat has like more of the Gush families and some of the older families live in those neighborhoods, but also there slowly the neighborhoods are turning over as people are downsizing, and you have younger communities there as well. So I think that it's just a really big mishmash that everyone can feel at home here.
How does it look on Shabbat? Describe to some of the Americans who aren't used to what it's like here.
We lived in Chicago for 3 years when my father was on shlichut, and as an elementary school kid. And I remember like the one thing that I mean, I missed a lot of things, but the one thing that I really, really missed was that on Shabbat, the main roads here, like you can walk on the main road, the kids can ride their bikes or scooters or whatever on the main roads, and everyone says Shabbat Shalom to everybody. And when we lived here, there were 100 families in Efrat, but so you can no longer recognize everybody. You don't know everybody anymore, but it's always like a feeling of a family and a familiar face, and like something very, very heartwarming in a community that like everyone just smiles at you and says Shabbat Shalom, and you see a bunch of like teenagers hanging out. It's just you have Avirat Shabbat in the community.
I can also say that a Friday night you would see at Shlomo Katz's shul in the Zayit, people walking from all over Efrat to the one shul in the Zayit, and then the Chabad shul with their good kiddush on Shabbos, Lag BaOmer, the Chabad march, and you have a little bit of everything here, and you have an ultra Orthodox community here, and you have mamash. It's very very diverse, but Baruch Hashem, there's a big, like Varnit said, there's a good Shabbos thing. The Rabbi Riskin, one of his big things that he used to do, now he's not so well, but used to walk from his house on this side, much next to this project, all the way to every single community. If it was in the Dagan, Tamar, Zayit, no matter what, he was in every single bar mitzvah saying Advar Torah. So someone asked, what's the religious thing? This is the who we got founded from. This is they met our
I remember
Shorachim.
him walking on the main road with his bekasha, and people would walk with him to keep him company. Anyone have any legal questions about the process, about what you can expect with the bureaucracy
By the way, I saw someone
or
asked
financial questions.
for financial questions.
or
I saw someone asked which
financial?
side is it on. This Tena is on the south part of Efrat. The north part is the Dagan and Tamar. So that's in relations to that question. I see here a question that wasn't answered.
Cost, overhead, timing, and availability.
So cost overhead, Yoni, maybe this would be something that you'd be able to help with.
Well, I didn't hear the question. What's the question?
Cost, overhead, timing, and availability.
Cost overhead to timing and availability. This is Tal after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Can you just repeat the
Cost
question?
overhead, like what are the costs right now that buying? You have the price of the property, and then what would I imagine this is what the person intended, and then what would be the prices? What's the availability for the units after that?
What's the availability at the moment?
Yeah.
So I explained that the prices. So we have 2 units, 190 square meters. That the pricing in dollars approximate is $1,750,000. And once we go up to the units that are 250 square meters, so the prices starts from approximate in dollars, 2.05 in dollars, and they go up to $2,150,000. And this is like I said, it's all comes with everything that you need inside, with the AC, with the today not a lot of houses they also give you AC or underfloor heating and all that. So the prices that that I told you are supposed to include everything that you need just to come and live inside the house.
Okay, next question is age limits on mortgages. Yoni Hyman.
So the maximum length we could get a mortgage till you turn 85, which means the younger of the two turns 85. So say, for instance, you are 50 or 53, I could take up to a 30-year loan. That's the maximum length. If you're 60 and 65, for instance, I could take up to 25 years, which I could take up to 85 when the younger of the two turns 85. That's the maximum length and up to 30 years.
Okay, and Voronit, I had an experience with an agent nearly buying on paper. How safe is doing that?
So I'm not really sure what the experience was, but as I stated before, there's very, very close regulation. We've had a few mishaps, let's call that, over the years with people that didn't do things very in a very honest way. And the government stepped in and really put regulation. We have what's called Chok Mecher, which enforces the regulation on all developers building, and every shekel that is put into the account is protected. I will also state that in this project, because you're only putting 10% up front, so 10% will be protected, but 90% of it is money that you don't have to worry about until you actually have a home and you can move into. But those 10% are also protected. I will put a little bit of a disclaimer there because the VAT of that money, the prices that are being told to you include VAT, okay? The prices include VAT, but in the regulation, the way it works is that the developer has to give you a collateral only for the money that you put in, that not including VAT, and the government has to protect the VAT. Okay, so it's a different fund, but both monies, according to the contract, they include VAT. Todd?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Vonit. I'm just answering other people, and so just
Oh, okay. No, you gave me a confused look, so I thought I was saying something wrong. Okay, never mind. Anyway, the prices include VAT, and so the government gives you collateral for the 18%, and the developer gives you collateral for the rest of it. And so your money is very protected. I will also say that as a project progresses, your money is safer because it's in brick and mortar. So you actually see things moving forward, and you have a lien on your specific unit. And so this project, unlike buying on paper, when there are no developers yet or anything like that, then as you progress, it's a safer project.
Okay, thank you. Tal, what is not included in the price? Some projects don't include the garden. This is additional. What level are the finishes? Do buyers spend more upgrading the kitchen and other rooms? That's a good question.
Okay, Andrew. So the developer was really into American standards when he was thinking about this project. So he was really thinking that just you buy whatever you according to American standards, is already included. So there is nothing which is not included. And what about other people? What they are doing? Mostly are only upgrading the kitchen. Every Jewish woman, when she comes to the kitchen, and she needs more cabinets, or I don't know, something which is extra. So everyone has a small upgrade to the kitchen just to fit. Every woman has her own needs. But other than that, everything is a very high standards. Like I said, the central AC, underfloor heating, the finishes are in a high level. If you
Light
want,
fixtures aren't included, because that sometimes surprises American clients. Light fixtures aren't included, you get the bulbs.
yeah.
But besides that,
I would suggest for people who like, we can also have the next video meeting. I will be inside one of the houses, and one-on-one, I can do video meetings if you like, inside houses, and we can go all over the house, as you can see for yourself, the standards. Yep.
If anybody has more questions, now's the time. Feel free. And really, if you have a place you feel that could be interesting, please reach out, and we'll also coordinate another meeting. And Tal will take you around, like you said, the houses, and then you can see each unit or the unit that you like the most, and then decide. In the last month, 5 of these units have been listed, so we're very blessed. It's a good time now.
Thank you, everyone, for joining.
Someone asked if there will be a recording. There will be the recording, and we'll send it out. Yes. Yes, of course.
And we're all available for more questions maybe that you didn't think of. We're happy to help.
Of course. If
Good
anybody
luck,
wants to take down
everybody,
the
with your
number,
decisions.
and we'll send you also an email summarizing and a link of the recorded session. Thank you very much, everyone. Tu B'Shvat Sameach.